And at one point, Tom sat back in his chair and said, "I'll never forget those pomegranates." And I said, "Tom, I have I think it's pomegranate memory." And I told him what I remembered, and he looked over at me, reached over and touched my shoulder and said, "Midori, that was me and my two friends." My mother and father and their 4 children lived in Concord, California, which is in the Bay Area, when Pearl Harbor happened, and they were told they had to leave their home. And when the little hospital was opened and the doctor came is when I was born at the end of August. I have several memories as a child, but the most significant one was of seeing, I was at the edge of the camp when I saw this huge cloud of dust. And as I was watching that dust emerged from there, 3 boys, one boy pushing a cart with some red fruit in it.
I was a very ambitious little boy. And so this one day, I walked out to the Gila River Indian Reservation. There was an Indian lady out there, and she had this pomegranate tree. And so she got one down, and she got a knife, and she cut the tough skin and gave me some of those red berries. Oh my gosh, talk about being in heaven. In those days, it was a wartime, and so they needed steel. So I picked up these nails and put them in a cup, and I went to the camp officials, and they gave me a nickel for a cup of nails. And gee, lo and behold, I got 40 cents. And that Indian lady, she gave me a whole bunch of pomegranates. And I took them back to the camp, and I gave them to all my friends.
That image has been in my mind ever since I saw it and I must have been 2 years and 3 months when I saw it, because that's pomegranates ripen in the fall. About a year and a half ago that I got to meet Tom at the dedication of the Nozomi Park. So I introduced myself to him and I said, I was born in the canal camp. And he said, well, I lived there too. And so we shared our memories. And at one point, Tom sat back in his chair and said, I'll never forget those pomegranates. And I said, Tom, I have I think it's pomegranate memory. And I told him what I remembered.
And I took out my notebook and I says, okay, Midori-san lives over here and we live down here.
And he looked over at me, reached over and touched my shoulder and said, Midori, that was me and my 2 friends.
I don't know, I guess the good Lord up above brought us together.
The older generation probably want to keep it to themselves. However, it's a part of our American history. I was a part of it. Tom was a part of it.
You know, if they keep it inside and don't let it out and become a full-fledged citizen, you're losing out on life.
It was a very dark time in our history. So many books and things have been written, but they're written by older people who went through horrible times, and that's what they're sharing, is the horrible things, and I understand that, because my older siblings and my parents experienced it too. However, learning that many, many people don't know anything about the Japanese internment camp, or know little about it, and they're curious, it gives us an opportunity, or me an opportunity to share.